All right, so Wednesday I had a really good session. I mean, like the best session I've had in weeks. I felt really good. My squats felt better than they have in forever. I had very minimal hip pain. I felt it just a little bit. You know, it didn't bother me too much, and it moved fast. It didn't feel heavy. It was awesome. I haven't felt like that in a really long time. So that was encouraging. And then I went to bench and deadlift, which was just technique work, but everything felt really good. And then now today, hips hurting me again, of course. You know, that flared up a little bit. That's going to be the way it's going to go. I'm almost positive for the next about 3.5 weeks. I'm just going to have to get through the session. It's going to hurt, feel better by the time I lift, hurt, and just continue to do that. But as long as it doesn't get worse, I'll be fine. So I'm going to keep pushing through that. And it's just interesting because so many people don't understand it. You know, they just, from an outside perspective, and I get it. It makes sense. I mean, I understand why somebody else who doesn't do powerlifting would not understand why we would do this to ourselves. And it's just hard for them to understand why, if something's hurting, why would you continue to do the thing that hurts it? Why wouldn't you back off? And why wouldn't you just let it rest and feel better? Truth be told, that is kind of how I approached things for quite a long time. In previous years, you know, I had elbow issues forever, and I kept just backing off every time it hurt, backing off. It got to the point where all I was ever doing was not lifting because it hurt all the time. And it wasn't until, you know, I started to push through those things where I really started to see significant progress. And don't get me wrong, if you think you're going to injure yourself, or if you actually are injured, yeah, you need to be careful, you need to back off, and you need to make sure you recover. But there's a fine line between pushing through and making sure you're continuing to make progress and doing further damage. And maybe this meet isn't something spectacular, it's not some huge deal. You know, it's not nationals, it's not the Arnold, it's not Worlds, it's nothing like that, but it is to me. You know, I don't know if I'll place. Even if I do really well, I don't know if I'll place or get first. I mean, I might. And obviously I want to win. I would love to win. That'd be great. But honestly, if I just keep doing everything that I can, pushing as hard as I can, you know, if I'm as prepared as I possibly can be and perform at my best, that's all I can do. And the big thing is qualifying. I always have that in my back of my mind. I just want to qualify for nationals, and I want to do nationals this year. And as long as I don't bomb out on a lift and something goes horribly wrong, it should happen. But it's interesting now, going into this meet, it's a little bit different than the other meets that I've done, because I feel like I actually have a legitimate chance at this thing. You know, like, I can make some noise. You know, I can be one of the top guys. I haven't had that before. You're like, in my last meet in July, I mean, I knew there was no chance of me getting anywhere close to the top. I mean, there was no way. It just wasn't possible. At 93 kilograms, going against the people that were at that meet, unless I was going to put on 300 pounds to my total out of nowhere, I wasn't going to compete. Even that wouldn't have been enough. So this one's different. My total is a lot better in 83 kilogram. I mean, that's why I made this transition. That's why I made this big cut, because I wanted to be more competitive. And to be honest, I kind of didn't like feeling like I was fat. So I wanted to do something about it. But I don't know, it's interesting. Got a little over 3 weeks left. I'm going to keep pushing hard. I'm going to do everything that I can to leave it all on the platform. And quite honestly, see how I perform under a little bit more pressure. Makes me nervous, but it makes me excited all at the same time. Can't wait.